Hi, hi everyone, it's me Giovanni, and today, I don't know if I'm feeling well, but I really just want to make this video just to make sure that, this whole thing about ruin just ends already, because I'm just getting tired of it. I was already getting tired of it ever since the theories, when the game already came out. It was a mess. And I'm just here to talk about this one final thing, Prototype Freddy, and probably even Helpy. So like I said in the last video about that, I also want to say that the strike is gone. The movie strike is gone. Like, actors can finally return to their jobs, and that's great. And people that were actors can finally talk about the movies that they were in, like Five Nights at Freddy's. Yay! But anyways, so I went back to ID's fantasy video about what really happened to the end of Security Breach. And she actually does a really good theory about how Prototype Freddy attacked Glamrock Bonnie, which, in actuality, that might make sense. And considering that the Prototype Freddy is literally different from the OG Freddy in the original Security Breach game, with the spikes, the thin lightning bolt on the chest cavity being damaged different than the one seen in the comic endings, and the sharp fingers on the hands, which people might have speculated was from Monty's claws, but Monty didn't have claws at the time, especially with Prototype Freddy. And Monty's claws would have not been sharp enough to fit a huge deep gash into Glamrock Bonnie's chest. And the Prototype Freddy literally has the name word prototype on the bottom of his foot. It wasn't painted over. It wasn't like, it didn't slowly come off. It's just there. And Prototype Freddy's like, his body is like slumped over, like instead of like when Glamrock Freddy was dismantled, it happened on the front, but the Prototype Freddy's body is facing backwards. And there was another theory where Gregory drew the comics of what are found in the Ruin DLC. And ID Fantasy brings up how Gregory was in time loop, or some sort of dreams, something, I don't know, kind of like endophobia, like hallucinating the entire events and the endings, and creating comics about it through his adventures. And that might make sense, but at the same time, I just don't know. Because realistically, I would feel like it's just part of Gregory's imagination, and he's just creating these comics. Meanwhile, he created the Burn Trap comic. Well, his final days, he probably left comics about his adventures, maybe. But the Burn Trap ending and the Princess Quest ending are combined in my personal opinions, because Vanessa is freed, and Glamrock Freddy is still alive, and Burntrap is gone. He's dead, and the Blob is still in the Pizzaplex. So, yeah, being separate endings wouldn't exactly add up. And the Pizzaplex is obviously in ruins. So, yeah. And Glamrock Freddy, the prototype, was probably in a different area in Phaser Blast. Meanwhile, in the original game, we didn't find this other space, but in Ruin we do. So I'm guessing, especially after the original security breach, some construction workers were gonna work rebuilding the place, but they just decided to abandon it, especially with some things happening, which also involved the Mimic. I still really want to do the recap of the timeline, the FNAF timeline story, and putting out all the details as much as I can, but I'll put the timeline into separate parts just to keep everyone updated on the entire story without it being crammed into one video. But I don't want to do that right now because that would be a huge, it would take a lot of time and confidence to do it. And considering that my videos are at a 15-minute limit, I really have to try and think about it. But anyways, for Prototype Freddy to attack Glamrock Bonnie before the events of Security Breach, and in the novel, in the books, which actually would make a lot of sense, because instead of Vanny, Monty, or Glitch Trap, or even Mimic doing that, it was instead Prototype Freddy, and Monty was probably framed for it. I don't know. But anyways, Prototype Freddy attacked Glamrock Bonnie, and Monty idolized Glamrock Bonnie. And when Monty realized that Glamrock Bonnie was missing, he decided to search for him. Prototype Freddy ended up getting severely damaged from the hurricane bucket and probably crashed into Phaser Blast, I think. There's probably a walkway to Phaser Blast, but the hurricane bucket is in Monty's golf, which wouldn't make sense, but for him to be in Phaser Blast, I'm guessing it had to do with one of the things that I found, which was some construction workers found the Prototype Freddy and thought he was the real Glamrock Freddy, and that the prototype without a head went crazy and started attacking randomly, but due to the fact that he didn't have a head, he attacked blindly, and it ended up damaging himself and crashing into the secluded Phaser Blast room or area where construction workers were trying to repair him, or some other animatronics, not sure. But as for the two endings, and with Glamrock Freddy, the original, and Glamrock Freddy's spare head, I'm guessing it has to do with the OG Glamrock Freddy and Helpy scene in the Brazil ending, even if the Brazil ending is just a hallucination of Cassie's sanity going crazy, and probably her dying from the Mimic. So what I can gather is that when Glamrock Freddy, Gregory, and Vanessa are trying to escape the Pizzaplex, the upper, the main level is still intact. It's not completely like in a sinkhole. So Um, Gregory finds a spare Freddy head, and, well, I'm not going to question it why he finds it or he takes it with the OG Glamrock Freddy and Vanessa, but he there's probably an idea where the spare Glamrock Freddy head is used for being built for a miniature like robot toy, Helpy, and Glamrock, the original Glamrock Freddy is still active. He's as a father. He's a father figure for Gregory, and he just stays in the house, probably on his own free will, sometimes even trying to recharge himself, taking naps, just something, and Helpy, the miniature Glamrock robot toy, is used um, to follow Gregory and Vanessa in public, which wouldn't be too suspicious since security breach is far into the future, especially in the 1980s where robot toys were indeed a thing, so it wouldn't be too weird. So yeah, one Glamrock Freddy and one Sparehead used to build a different robot, a toy robot, just whatever. Yeah, but the prototype Freddy and Helpy, you know what? Screw it. There's probably just one the OG Glamrock Freddy and one Helpy being used from the spare Glamrock Freddy prototype head. Who knows? But it doesn't matter anyways. The Ruined DLC being the end of the current story and going back into the past with FNAF Zero, the prequel to the entire franchise, and with Help Wanted 2. Like I said, there's not going to be a second DLC for Security Breach. We're getting Help Wanted 2. Help Wanted 2, okay? Please. We don't need any more games. Thank you. But anyways, I just hope in Help Wanted 2 that maybe the glitch trap avatar from the original Help Wanted is still alive, or vice versa. Or maybe it can be a different story, whatever it is. People were talking about Help Wanted 2 and how about their different opinions of what might happen in the game, but I'm just thinking maybe glitch trap the virtual avatar is still alive in the game, and that considering that the fast wrench or whatever it was in the trailer, I'm guessing it will still continue from there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm losing it. Oh, I don't feel well. I really don't feel well. I'm so glad that the strike is over so that Dead Me can finally kill count horror movies again. I would be happy about that, especially if I want to see some of my favorite horror movies on his channel. Bye.